What is autonomous driving? Why is it also hyped up right now? Do I actually want a car that can drive by itself? These are just some of the most common things you hear about autonomous driving right now, because not many people actually understand what it is. What I'm going to do today is break down what exactly autonomous driving is and what it means for cars. So what I think is the best way to explain about autonomous driving in a quick, nice and simple video is, first question, what is it? Second one, the levels of autonomous driving. And third one, the one a lot of people are most excited about, the challenges of autonomous driving. To achieve autonomous driving, you need to have an autonomous vehicle. So what is an autonomous vehicle? An autonomous vehicle is a vehicle which can drive by itself. It can perform all the functions of a driver, such as yourself, a human individual with legs and a brain and eyes and senses, your own sensory system all working. Everything which you can do, the system can do. Maybe they claim it can do better, but the main thing is that is what an autonomous vehicle does. It should be able to adapt to the environment, just like how you learn to adapt to the environment as you drive along, which means you're driving and then a car comes into your lane without signal. Yes, it is his fault or her fault, but you learn to adapt to it. So that is a human characteristic which we learn to do as we drive. We adapt to the environment, and that is something the system, the autonomous vehicle, will learn to do as well, because it is equipped with million and one radars and sensors and GPS, this satellite, everything to guide itself and give it data, as much data as possible to drive like a normal human. And I don't mean the reckless ones lah. So data is what helps this the most. All the radars, they feed constant information of white lines, traffic lights, cars on the road, distance of cars on the road, speed limits, weather conditions, as much as it can to adapt and all that. So all this data, the system will gather it and it will process it, and the brain will tell it on like how to drive to the destination you are going and all that. Yes, and the main goal for autonomous driving is for cars to be literally driverless. Like, you don't need to be in the car at all. That would be the final goal. Like, that means basically the car just drives to you and then fetches you and then takes you to where you want to go, which is basically a taxi, Grab, Uber, same thing. But there are 6 levels of autonomous driving. In level 0, it's basically any car, any normal car you drive right now. It's human power, you control everything, head to toe, is all you. So in level 1 is things that which we are already sort of used to, which is a car having cruise control, where it controls one variable is controlled. In this sense, it's speed. Okay, so you have cars which where the speed is controlled, the throttle you can, like, you know, plus and it'll speed up. So that is one variable which has been autonomized. Yeah, that's the word. And then level 2 is where things get even more exciting, like for example Volvo and all that have this now, and even the new Proton X50, where the steering and the speed is controlled by the system, which means, okay, for example, what it can do here is that, let's say it detects the white lines along the sides when you're driving, and then if the wheel starts to rub on the white line, the steering actually pulls back. It has force on it, where it pulls back towards the lane. It doesn't like swerve you back the other way, but it pulls you back just nicely back into the middle of the lane. But for this to happen, it's still not like a full autonomous mode yet, because your hand still has to be on the steering wheel. Like in the Volvo, if you let your hand go off the wheel for about 3 seconds, and then the system will be like beep beep beep, and then you have to put your hand back on the steering. So that means it's not completely autonomized. You still need to be aware and awake with the system. It only helps you. So it's more like a guide and assistance. That's what level 2 is. Alright, next we go one step above to level 3, where the driver plays even lesser of a role. I mean, obviously level 2 to 3. So here the system can monitor everything already. It's already paying attention to cars which are coming in the lane. It can help you turn the steering completely to the next lane, to change lanes. If you put signal, it'll just go to the next lane and all that, which level 2 doesn't do, by the way. So here it only needs your help for if something critical, like if a car like seriously jam brakes in front, that is when like you need to take control. And this level 3 is only safely usable right now for any speeds under 60 kilometers per hour. So this is more like a somewhere in between to full, but neither here nor there. So actually level 3 is kind of like a gray zone a bit. It's like I wouldn't want to trust the system fully, right? If it can give me like more control to switch lanes and all that, but then if something were to happen, I equally still have to be extremely alert for this kind of things, because anyway it's all happening at lower speeds also. And then we go to level 4. So in level 4, things really take an even bigger step forward, where the system will check everything for you. It'll check all the conditions and it will let you know when it's ready to take over. This is the best part. So it's like a butler like that. It checks everything. It checks weather condition, the traffic, like it checks the radar stack ahead also, you know, and all that, and the speeds, and what's the traffic condition is like and everything, and then let you know when it's ready to use the system, then you can engage it. So now the level 4, the only thing it cannot handle is like complex things like joining from highway to road. Like what I mean is like from highway to small road, or small road to highway, or traffic jams where you need to, like, you know, cut lane all that. Those are complex moves which level 4 cannot handle yet. So that is like you see where this is growing lah. So that is what level 4 is, and the system lets you know, and it doesn't handle the serious stuff. So once you're like already settled on the highway, you put it on and then it will handle everything for you. That is how this works. You just need to wake up when you need to take your exit. And then finally we have level 5, and level 5 is basically where the system handles everything. So it's like full AI takes over everything, and this is what Tesla is targeting this year. Elon Musk said that they are he's very certain that their cars are going to be completely autonomous without worry at all. He's promising that already, you know. So this is where the system can handle everything, head to toe, any road condition. The AI will be able to detect cars coming. All the data is fed to the system. You can literally close your eyes and relax. And in level 5, they actually say that the car would not require to have steering, brakes or anything anymore, because the system can handle everything. So imagine getting in a car where you don't have a traditional anything, you just sit in it like a boat, or, you know, like a bed basically. Now we come to the fun part, the challenges of autonomous driving and autonomous vehicles. The human instinct. Can the system make up for human instinct? Because, okay, fair enough, humans make a lot of mistakes in driving. I'm sure there's 1,001 statistics for that to show that humans make a lot of mistakes. Humans also have a certain instinct which can save the car, prevent an accident. Humans do have that instinct as well, as much as we love to prove otherwise. So can the system actually make up for that human instinct, like something which the data cannot read, and that feeling where it's like, oh, that guy might come, and then you avoid or you brake a bit more? That human instinct, can the system make up for that? That's a challenge. The other one is technical error. This is down to the system itself. What if some radar or a particular thing on the system suddenly goes wrong and it gives the AI a wrong sense of information, and then the car decides to do something else? How do you handle that? Like, that's a technical error which kind of scary. That's a challenge. Well, that means the companies are going to have to make sure that the systems cannot make an issue at all for you to completely let go and let a vehicle drive you, a thing handle your life just like that. And the last one, which is my personal favorite, is who do you blame in an accident? Okay, let me paint you the scenario here. You're sitting in your autonomous car. Somebody is driving their normal peasant human people car, and an accident happens. Who do you blame? Do you blame the company who sold you the autonomous car for not predicting the accident, or do you blame yourself for not taking over the controls or not doing anything about it? Or do you blame that guy? Or like, how does this whole thing work? Everything's new. There's 1,001 questions. It's like the idea of how accidents happen has changed. So I don't know how this kind of situation will be handled in the future, but like this actually happens. I would love to actually see what kind of solution people come up with here. That means the systems are going to be that good that you cannot blame the system. You have to blame the human only. Like, that is a lot of people are going to have to put down a lot of ego to accept that, That wraps up my video on autonomous driving and autonomous vehicles. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something from it. And do follow me on all the social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's all the same name, That Indian Talks Cars. Follow, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. I'm going to bring you guys more and more content like this. So stay tuned and have a beautiful, beautiful day, guys.